Hey guys, this is John Lorenzo, youth pastor at Grace City Church, and we're here for part 5 of our series called The Basics, simple things that can help build your youth ministry culture. And over the past 4 parts, we've been talking about some really practical things that we learned as we built campus ministry. And today, this is the most honest episode. To be really honest with you today, this is the one of things I had to learn the hard way in the first years of our youth ministry starting campus ministries. The first thing is that campuses are our mission field. Yeah, this is an important mindset to have when it comes to campus ministry. Here's why. It can feel like with the amount of time, energy, effort, finances, manpower that you give to campuses that you should have immediate results. But one thing I've had to learn the hard way is that just because our campuses are doing really well, it doesn't automatically mean that we're going to see it on Wednesday nights at our youth ministry at the same time. You know, one of the reasons why I've had to learn that is there have been weeks in our youth ministry literally where campus ministry attendance has tripled what our attendance has been on a Wednesday night. And what would be really easy for me to do as a youth pastor is to get insecure, to get upset, say, man, how come all these kids show up to our ministries at lunches or in the mornings, but they aren't showing up to hear me preach on Wednesday nights? But one thing that has just brought me so much peace is when my mindset is that campuses are our mission field, I become okay with sowing. And here's the thing, if you see it as a mission field, you're okay with sowing because when you sow into a campus, it might not be you, but someone is gonna reap it. And I've always taken that mindset, man, I'm gonna help build other youth ministries in my city. Man, there may be kids that are coming into our campus ministry on a Wednesday or on a Friday or on a Thursday that will never come into my youth ministry, but someday, maybe when they're in college, they'll walk into a youth ministry, they'll walk into a college ministry and it'll change their life. You gotta see campuses as your mission field. The second thing I had to learn the hard way was this: every year is a new year with students. This is something that you learn as you have longevity in youth ministry, that just because you killed at a campus one year does not mean that when school starts in the fall, you're automatically gonna kill the next year. We've had it go both ways in our youth ministry, where some years it's been something where we loved on a campus, man, we crushed it. The senior class was with us, the teachers were all about us, the teams liked us, and we come back for the next school year and it is like night and day, complete opposite, nothing's happening. We've also had it happen the other way, which is one of those things where we had a really hard time the year before, but whatever reason, a new class comes in, different influencers come in, the fall comes in, and everything changes. I would just encourage you, every year is a new year with students. Always see it as a fresh opportunity to reach people. Don't get discouraged that you gotta rebuild and re-win a senior class. You gotta remember, in the social life of a high school, different students, different influencers coming in can change everything on a yearly basis. Make sure you keep that in your mindset. Other thing I put down, be willing to change your strategy. Just because it worked for you once, one semester, one event, doesn't mean it's gonna work for you again. Also, be willing to change your strategy based on the different schools that you go to. The city that we do ministry in, it's not a huge city, but there's 5 or 6 high schools that are within driving distance of our campus, of our church. And so here's the thing we think about when it comes to a big event. What worked at one high school may not work at another one. What worked at one middle school may not work at another one. That strategy that you use to get kids into your youth event or get kids to your campus ministry at this high school might not work the same at a middle school. We're always, as a team, reevaluating our strategy, saying, hey, what's the most effective way to do this? What worked really well this one time didn't work so well that time. One thing that we learned, it's a simple one, but it might help you out here. Flyers work really well for us to invite high schoolers. They don't really work well for middle schoolers. One of my leaders sent me this funny video of a flyer that we handed out at one of our middle schools that was like crumpled up and shoved in a drain. And I was like, okay, this may not be the most effective thing for us to be spending money on bringing flyers to our middle schools. Maybe be willing to change your strategy. Be willing to let it evolve. Be willing to say, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to bring the most effective strategy to reaching this campus. And the last encouragement I have for you is remember why you started. I've always said this to our team. The reason why I love youth ministry, the reason why I know that I'm still called to be in youth ministry is I still get fired up and excited when I walk onto a campus for a lunch. I still get excited out of my mind when I show up to a Friday night football game or a Thursday night basketball game. I tell our team all the time, I'm gonna keep doing youth ministry as long as that's the way that it feels. But something that can happen sometimes when you start doing campus ministry is you might start strong. As you go throughout the semester, it gets a little bit harder. And I always have to remember this, something my senior pastor tells me all the time. Ministry is not built or broken in a week. Youth pastors, we tend to be up and down people. Youth leaders, we tend to be up and down people where when a night goes really well, an event goes really well, we're fired up, we're pumped up. This is the best thing that's ever happened. And when it doesn't go super well, we've all woken up that day, right? Thursday morning, whatever morning is after youth, where you're sitting, you're like, good God, I don't know what I preached. Did I preach heresy last night? Am I even a good youth pastor? Should I figure out a new career? Gotta remember why you started, man. This is about helping young people meet Jesus. This is about going to where young people are at and bringing them the hope and the truth of the name of Jesus. And as long as you keep that in the forefront of your mind, whatever is happening on campuses, you're going to see it as a win. You know, this has really been the first part of our series, The Basics on Campus Ministry. Parts 1 through 4 are available on our YouTube channel. This is the first one that you're tuning in on. We also would love, you can contact us at ministries@gracecity.com. We would love to reach out to youth pastors. We'd love to help you get your strategy, what works best for you. Please reach out to us. We'd love to get to know you. And wherever you are, man, as a youth pastor, youth leader, volunteer, you're my hero. This is what I know. Doing youth ministry, building youth ministry, God's called us to do it. And I always want to encourage you, wherever you are, where you're at, you're my hero, man. You're out there slugging it out. You're out there helping young people find the gospel. I just want to say, man, I hope you have hope. I hope you're full of life. I hope you're full of joy wherever you are.